to external occupation and and slavery. Do you remember that history? The second one was resistance to colonialism and the fight for independence. The third one is the fight for the second liberation, which was about reintroducing multi-party politics in this country. NCC is located within the space of the struggle for a new social contract, a new Katiba for Kenya, which is the fourth struggle. The struggle for the implementation, the struggle for economic and social justice falls in the fifth wave. That is to tell you that you are in the genealogy of a long struggle. Just to put this in perspective, we are here today celebrating the 15th anniversary of our Constitution. But before that Constitution, there had been 20 years of struggle for the Constitution, from 1990 to 2010. So until today, that's 35 years. Kenya today is about 105 years old, since it was constituted in 2020, in 1920. So July, last month, is when Kenya celebrated its 105th anniversary. So it's a long struggle. It's a long struggle. But we can never give up and we can never give in. Why? Because that struggle, the path to where we are today, that path is built by sweat and the blood of comrades who've gone before us. We cannot afford to give in or to give up this struggle, no matter how difficult it is. If you think that it's difficult today, you needed to have lived in the 90s. Today we have a progressive democratic constitution. It's just that we lack the agency to implement it. In the 90s, we had an autocratic constitution. The guardrails that you have in the current constitution weren't available back in the day. Today, you have the privilege of democratization of information through digital revolutions. When I was asked to speak about this, I was asked to talk about how we organized. How we organize. Today you can sit and within a second from your laptop, from your phone, you can reach thousands or millions of people through Twitter or through WhatsApp. What you do today through those platforms, what we did back then is to sit down, frame handbills. We had handbills, flyers, handbills, which we would go and print somewhere in Nyamakima, right? Print overnight. We didn't have the modern digital printers. They were manual printers. And to get somebody who would be willing to print for you, it had to be subversive because people could not, businesses could not risk the wrath and ire of Moi and Kanu at that time. There were no guardrails for them. If Moi found you printing this material was considered subversive. Then what you do by pressing the button to send your message across the country and across the world, we used to get young people and send them by bus across the country. A Kamba bus. Yeah? They would go to Western Kenya, to Coast, they'll go to Garissa, they'll go to Mandera. All of this, it was subversive. I do not know whether Professor Guy knows this, but the first executive director of Katiba Institute was Waiko Wanyuike. Waiko Wanyuike was one of those people who were running these errands. And there are some of them are here. Some of them here. The second thing we did is infiltrate the civil society. Because we didn't have resources to organize, as young people, we'd just come from college. The only way to organize or to access resources was to volunteer in civil society organizations. So KHRC, 4Cs, ICJ, all these organizations. Why? So that we can be able to have opportunity to travel in the field and to go and build the cells out in the field. That's what we did. When you read William Tunga's constitution making from the middle, it tells you what the middle class did. But it doesn't tell you what young people like you did. There are many young people who died in this process. There are many who went to exile. Again, Waikwa is one of those who went to exile. I don't know, there might be some here who went to exile because things were really very, very bad. Some like DK, Kamau, you know, those are people who had, because their people were killed. So when you get discouraged with the fact that in spite of a good progressive constitution, we have regimes that are reluctant or resistant to implement them and to unlock the transformative potential in those constitutions, remember that there are those who've walked this journey and they never gave up. So we can never give up. There are 2 points I just want to state because I was given a little time here to encourage us. When NCC was founded in 1996, the country was caught in an overwhelming sense of apathy. It was hopelessness. Moi had somehow wiggled back into power in 92 with minority of votes, less than about 34% of the votes. But because the opposition was so fragmented, it was possible for Moi to return against the wishes of Kenyans. So that was a period of hopelessness. And the 3 conditions that are necessary for transformative of revolutionary change, 2 of them were present. There was the objective condition because, for instance, the economy was contracting. Kenya was growing at about -2%. So it means we had an incompetent government in power. Number 2, people were hurting economically and socially. There was a great deal of stress. So the subjective condition was present. But the 3rd condition, which is organizing, was absent. The political opposition was fragmented. And there was antipathy between the politicians and the civil society and the social movements. So the big question, the Lenin question, to unite all these fractious groups. And in 1 year, the National Convention Planning Committee, which had come out of 4Cs, the Citizens Coalition for Constitutional Change, was able to bring together the different political formations, to bring together civil society organizations, youth and students, and women movements. And ladies and gentlemen, it is through that hard work that eventually in 1997, the NCC, which was formed as out of NCPC, was able to rally Kenyans to break the autocratic back of Moi and Kanu. And if you think that a Ruto is difficult to break, then you had to go back to Moi and Kenyatta. Professor Gai himself had to go into exile because of the autocratic state that was wielded by Kenyatta and then Moi. And you've heard about detentions. You've heard about the many deaths, about the many broken families. That was the state in which NCC was organizing. So I want to put it to you that much as this country is stuck in a rut, and much as there is hopelessness, through you, shaping yourself into agency, it is possible to bring change. And somebody talked here about Messiah, the Messiah syndrome. One thing I'm happy about the Gen Z uprising is the upending of the whole concept of a Messiah. The Messiah who will liberate this country is in you. Let me repeat that. I think you didn't get it right. The Messiah who will liberate this country is inside you. Don't look further. It is inside you. Why do I say this? After 2002, we had a new government, the NAC government. And in 2010, we had a new constitution. Some of the key players, like Mwai Kibaki, Raila Odinga, Charity Ngilu, Michael Kijana Wamalwa, all of them were part of the NCC reform movement. But who is giving you headache right today? Who is Baba who? Baba man. He's the one who wants at every turn and at every opportunity, he wants to change this constitution. Instead of politicians changing themselves to fit in within the vision of the new constitution, they want to change the constitution to fit in within their own pecuniary needs. Moi, Ruto was telling us the other day that he's the most intelligent president we've had. I think we can all agree here in this room that he's not intelligent. He's not smart. If he was intelligent and if it was smart, we would be seeing it in the economic indices. We would be seeing it in the social indices. We would be seeing it in the politics of the country, right? So the only president that I think we've had who was intelligent is Mwai Kibaki. I think amongst those that we've had. But even him, he let this country down. And it's because of him that even when we were given 2 opportunities to create change, we still ended up with the people who opposed the Constitution. So in 2013, we had an opportunity to change to breathe life into the Constitution and to give effect to the transformative promise in that Constitution. As a people, who did we choose? Don't mention the name. We had an opportunity in 2017. We repeated the same mistake. 2022, we had another opportunity. God is merciful. He gave us a 3rd opportunity. Who did we choose? Again, don't mention the name. 2027, or if God wills, before, we might have an opportunity. What will you do? The Messiah is inside you. Amen.
Long live. Must go. Okay. It is either end term, no term, half term, everything else. Thank you very much, Kamaradi Kepta, for ensuring that we don't lose the memory of the struggle. Okay? That we all have our place. Those that organize, those that create music, thank you. Those that research and give us policy position, thank you. Those who are connected with the political class, and we must all work together for us to maintain the momentum of the struggle. And to you, Kepta, and that entire group of youth that led the 90s. There are very many in the room, and nimeona mpaka 5Cs wameingia wote. 5Cs nawaona, so that you keep inspiring. By the way, for the women, Gen Zs, women have always been part of the struggle, okay? But the memory, because we do not write, the people who write, they have a way of canceling the women and other vulnerable and other groups, not necessarily vulnerable. It is just people who wear power in an ugly way, okay? Sasa, you know the struggle has always had music. When Echoes of War was being cancelled, I remembered a song that Moi, during the KANU, it is the one that went to State House. Okay? It used to go like this. Chama cha haki KANU kinatawala Kenya. Chama cha haki tawala Kenya. Kwe 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 shamba mwanyayo nazilimwe. Wanaocheza na uhuru wangamizwe. Do you remember that? That is one of the songs that won and went all the way to the nationals in the... So now, when the current regimes do not celebrate what the artists who really are speaking to our struggles, we must celebrate them, support them, and give them space. Okay? So we have a poet in the room, Cricket. Cricket. So Cricket will awaken our conscience. One of the artists who is a part of the struggle. Karibu.
Machocha. Ni yale. Ni wale wauaji, ni wale kazi ngumu tunaifanya na wananchi wenyewe ya kuijenga Kenya yetu na kuieneza Injili. Tunaijenga Busia, tunaijenga. Mtaa yako ni gani? Utaki kujenga Injili? Mtaa yako ni gani? Mathare juzi tumepoteza Comrade Njau. Long live the spirits of Comrade Njau, long live. Long live the spirits of Comrade Njau, long live. And nimekuwa nikijaribu kufikiria what maybe Comrade Njau may tell Mama Victor. Maybe anaweza mwambia still Mathare floods are an issue. Maybe anaweza kukumbusha Albert Ojwang that still a single tweet is a grave offense. Still anaweza kukumbusha Kimathi that still a luta continua. A luta continua. Against what? Against what? So mimi naitwa Comrade Cricket Rights. Mama yangu anaitwa Wanjera. So one day workers wata unite na system ya majamba zitabaki manjaa basi. Mkulima wa baadhi ata question mbona after produce ako manjaa basi. Basi uferi wafanyikazi kwa shamba za maua, selector ata change playlist na kucheza tracks za mapinduzi basi. Kwa sherehe tapiga pamba local after kudevelop industries zetu za cotton basi. Members wa union kaa kotu watarise payslip zao zinakonda na Francis ananona at no worries basi. Streets zita flood fighters wakiprotest kwa system haiwezi jenga hata drainage basi. Tutarename streets Mama Victor, Mama Koigi, Mama Ndudhu, Mama Getao Mwara, Wagare Maathai, Nekesa, Musa, na ariko watogoria Mwariama na mtekeleze katiba basi. Stars za newspaper tutarewrite history ya watetezi walijoin system inadhulumu wananchi basi. Farmers wata embrace organic farming na scandals za fake fertilizers zitaisha basi. Tutaoccupy cereals board mahindi waliacha inaoza tukiimba njaa, tutashare basi. Streets za Zuckerberg zitajaa posts za kuvua Gates na Elon Musk za ukapitalisti basi. chama zitakuwa na wamama zitakuwa na wamama hawata mama kwa speeches basi. Wafuasi hawatachanga kujenga shule kwa churches zenye watoto wao hawata afford basi. Export ya teachers itaisha na klasi zetu zitakuwa na walimu wa kutosha basi. Lectures kama za Misere Mugo, Kamoji wa Ashira, Goge wa Thiongo, Maina wa Kenyati, Mazrui, Edward Oyugi zita inspire militant students. Onyangolo, Tirop, Tito Adungosi, Karemi Ndudhu, likes za Wafula waibuke basi. Ati imba iyaya we, iyaya 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 iyaya, oh iyaya we. So leo hata wakichain my body lazima nita free my mind kama Misere. Sita betray hii motherland kwa kusubmit cooperation. Kwa hii country imejaa patriots kwa jails na prisons. Economy ni colonialist na hii regime ina create poverty na kufanya ama youths wanakuwa criminals. Nimekataa kunyamaza kuona tunaoga mikono kuserve bullet. Itaandikwa na pen waambie ni basi waiandike na rifle. Sina fear imprisonment kwa regime ina treat citizens kama slaves, ina to deny human rights na bado kwa public holidays na imba love, peace and unity. So niaje hii country ni most democratic time others wanakufa na njaa. Niaje hii country ni most democratic time others wanakufa kwa detention cells na torture chambers. Country ni prison, home oppressed alafu a small minority na enjoy privileges. Exam papers zimechelewa kufika Turkana ati transport ni ya udu. Na ballot papers zilifika before 6 am. We waacha bana. So taunganisha stima, tutaunda barabara, tutajenga serikali na vijana ya bodaboda na mama mboga. So aka slogan ikaga sha goa. So Mr. President ndi route O gani unatupeleka? Kusema education ni free na vile books ni expensive ni ku-exercise our minds. Kusema education ni free na jana kuna mto yalisari shule juu alikosa uniform ni ku-exercise our minds. So unafilaje sasa nyorezo wako wanakuongoza national anthem na tujenge taifa, alafu Mokuru, Korogosho, Dandora mtaa yako wanabomolewa. So unafilaje sasa nyorezo wako wanakuongoza national anthem na tujenge taifa, alafu Dandora, Korogosho, Mukuru na mtaa yako wanabomolewa. So Mkenya, tuamke, tupambane. So ni kanisa ilitumika kuomba kura, wakasoya na Biblia, but sahi wanatumia kifua kuongoza. Time constitution ilifaa kukaa tiba. So Meru alichagua governor wakidhani atapiga Kawira, but sahi bado hakuna mwangaza. Nairobi Johnson bado anasaka ja kwa government nanua curtains za 10 million. We jiulize akina nani wanabebwa mapasia. So call kutoka kwa streets ni short call, but najua itakuwa na haja kubwa. Call kwa rezo status imechange, umeanpin chat zetu. Hata dipin hustler na dose kwa self, real hustler na dose kwa shelves za vibanda kwa streets ananyeshwa daily na bado unadai power yako Irene. Mr. President, serikali ilikuwa ya mama mboga ama ya mama mwenye mashamba ya mboga? So utaunganisha stima aje? Time power news story shocking. Airport imekosa lighting. Kizunguzungu majirani wanacheka wanaongozwa na kina Samia. Woi, na bado ana suluhu. Story ya vijana wa bodaboda. Kwani ilikuwa ya kubeba for a ride ama? Kwani zakayo? Historia kuunda barabara. Ona imekuwa ngumu kama kujaza maji kwa poti imejaa holes. Ni yale ni yale mambo policies walitype alafu zikasainwa na ball pen, na hapo ndio tulichezwa. Koti wakapiga perfume na expectaji wataheshimu court order. So 21st century gava yako bado inatumia unga ku bribe nation ku vote. Mkulima wa kahawa ana go lost after sales juu kutoa chai. So nani hauni Kenya taa bado hakuna. Nani atatikileta article 1 ya constitution vifiti? All sovereign power belongs to the people. All sovereign power belongs to the people. The people ni set flani ya rulers wa protect wealth kwao. Sunday wamekrama Apostles Creed, alafu Monday greed in our drive na testimonies za vile 7 days without prayer inawafanya week. Wajasikia kiongozi wa Wanga alikuwa na bongo na bado alikuwa deceived na sweets. Mambo leo still ni ukoloni, believe me, hata Mugabe angekuwa Kenya na hangetaka anyone amuite roba. Ama ni roba. Wewe acha bana. So tunaishi na country where the president anapenda the youth but most strategic jobs anapea the old, na kwa hiyo mood still awari country yenye na constitution kama ni leadership nachagua humanity kwa leader wangu. Juu kama leadership ni school degrees na certificates, basi hadi zile karatasi za Waititu zilikuwa true. Ni Ferdinand alizimisinta pret. So pieces mobs za peace wasanii wanaandika lakini bado hana amani. Kiongozi mwananchi alichagua, already anamfichia white. Already ana stock ya ngano ya kubandika posters time ya campaign na Turkana tunakufanja. Wanjiku waezi afford Kawairimo mkulimo Roskoko na majani chai analia njaa toka time ya Nyayo. Afya center ni kama base fulani ya viongozi waendea snacks, docs ni less, hospitals ni less na zenye ziko bado hazina madawa. Doc ana complain of protective gears, ndiye anatekicha ya 4M na last time nurses wali strikes ni jana. Si wages zinafanya mwalimu kuhata kidato, si wages zina donatives kwa evicted Kariobangi, Mokuru na Ruai. Unanyomoke Ruai ginya hakiri. So equality iko wapi time kuna mwenye nchikare na kona aneka ya parking na aneka smoking zone na parking large kuliko choflani iko Dandora, Korogosho na Mathare. Equality iko wapi time kuna mwenye nchikare na kona aneka ya parking na aneka smoking zone na parking large kuliko choflani iko Dandora, Korogosho na Mathare. So makara wa Kenya, pole kusema, ni same na photographers kila time they've got a clear shot. So tulienda recruitment za makarao, alafu tukaambiwa na tuko na shida ya macho. Alafu after kutembea station tukapata afande amevaa miwani. So sijui nani alifunga mwingine macho ama tulifungua macho juu tulikosa za macho. Ni yale mambo, ni yale mambo ya ukoloni. Long live our defiance, long live. Forward to social justice, forward. Forward to us for social change, forward. Mimi naitwa Cricket Rights, kijana ya Wanjera. Natoka pale mtaa inaitwa Korogosho. Na tunafanya mambo progressive kama hii ya sanaa na tuzidi kwa mapambano.
Forward. More power. Our power. People power. Amujui. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Cricket. What a message. I think vision ya Kenya, si ndio? Si yote iko hapo ndani? Wale hawajaelewa tutawataipia nini Kiswahili kizungu yenye iko one ngeli moja. Acha nitumie, si ndio?
DJ Justice.
Wacha mimi nitoa hii microphone, mimi msanii. Nishikilia. Thank you very much. Earlier, wakati tulikuwa tuna set context, we indicated that the things we will focus on in the constitution is one, security. Si ndio? Sababu wanatumia security to take away what is ours in the constitution. Si ndio? That police will work for we the people, not the people in power. Tukaambiwa pia tuchunguze sana how people get into power. Therefore, elections. Okay? Then, ni Oliver mpaka alitupea kilometers squared kwa Kiswahili. Okay? Mraba something. Ya Kenya. All the land and the resources we own. Tukaambiwa pia tuchunguze kabisa. Si ndio? Alafu tukaambiwa, mimi nakuanga hiyo pande. Wakasema muangalie ile pesa wako na public finance, the tax, the debt and so on, because ni tax yetu na ndio huwa wanatumia kutusabotage, enrich, kutuibia, kufanya tulale njaa. So those are 4 important chapters. But I have gotten whispers by university students here that if we forget education, it is the foundation for the future, si ndio? So naomba Karel dakika mbili tu. Karel on behalf of university students. Kuanzia sasa siketi sababu tunataka kuimba na tukule, si ndio? Right to food iko kwa constitution.
Good afternoon, guys. Hey, you look silent, Buana. Good afternoon. I don't know how to sing, but you'll allow me to read a short speech that I had prepared here. So my name is Karel Omoyo. I'm the National Secretary General for University Student Leaders Association. Today we are here to celebrate our Constitution, and we should not forget our heroes of the constitutions, the early adopters who ensured that today we have the Constitution that we so cherish. The likes of Jaramogi Odinga, George Anyona, Wangari Maathai, Matiba, Charles Rubia, and Koigi Wamwere. Fellow comrades, citizens of Kenya and the democratic allies of the world, today as we celebrate Katiba Day, we celebrate more than the birth of a constitution. We celebrate the hope of the people and the promise of the nation. The Constitution is not mere ink on paper. It is the living pact between leaders and the people. Kenya must become the giant of constitutionalism, since our country is not a typical state in Africa. It is Africa's bell, and it is the voice that must resonate globally. However, comrades, we cannot speak of constitutionalism without reference to the pain of our own people. We have to salute those young women and men who lost their lives in the Gen Z protest. They were not rebels, they were citizens exercising a holy right. When bullets silences voices, the Constitution itself hemorrhages. Today we say their sacrifice shall not be in vain. But our struggle is not merely national, it is a global struggle. Kenya today must position itself as a bridge to the world. Our youth must be equipped not just for survival, but for industrialization, innovation, and global competitiveness. Our education must produce problem solvers, innovators, and creators that can sit at the table of nations and speak as equals. Comrades power. Comrades ria. Comrades akchu. Kenyans must foreground her arts, innovation, and creativity as tools of transformation. Our music, our literature, our theater, and our technology cannot remain on the periphery. They must be cast as a part of Africa's gift to humanity. The creative economy is not just entertainment, it is a foundation for nation building. But let us deal with the obstacle that slows us down. The issue of corruption is the elephant in the room. Corruption is not just stealing our present, it is stealing our future. Corruption is a betrayal to humanity. Corruption deprives children of classrooms, workers of dignity and decent wage, students of good, and society to an unequal state. If we are serious about global connectedness, let us remove corruption. At home, we need to address our own constitutional imperatives. We need to repeal the Duale Bill. This is a bill that has ensured that the student leaders who are elected are not the ones who are popular with the students, rather the ones who have the money to run campaigns. Comrades, power. We need to reform, because silencing student leadership is silencing democracy. We need to reform NACADA and be truthful in alcohol control. As Julius Malema said, if we are going to advertise alcohol, let us show its true face, not glamorize lies. Protect students from predatory accommodation fees and assert dignity of comrades. Comrades, the Constitution is a sword and a shield. It protects us from the oppression and gives us the power to build. But Long live the spirit of comradeship. Long live. Long live the spirit of constitutionalism. Long live. Long live our heroes of the liberation. Long live. Long live Kenya. Long live. Long live our CJ who is here. Long live. Thank you.
Okay. Makofi, the intelligentsia is safe. Karel, sijasikia kizungu hivyo, but thank you very much on behalf of all the students and the student caucus as well. All in the room, we hear you. There was another Duale bill. There is now a Duale audit. Niale. Mambo niale. Niale. Mambo ya ukoloni. Comrade Marianne has reminded me that we are not only focusing on education, okay? One of the mantras that I would like us to go with is Kenya istahili heshima. That means kila Mkenya astahili heshima. For us to achieve that, we must implement everything in Article 43. I am borrowing her words. Ameniambia, Diana, hata mkisema free education, ndio huyo Mariana kwa kule nyuma. Hata mkisema free primary education na mtu hana sanitary pads, wanaenda shule aje? Si ndio? Na zile nyumba za mchanga zilibomolewa, zenye wasichana walikuwa naambiwa wakae. So it must be holistic dignity. Okay? Holistic dignity is where we focus on. I want to, and I know there are many people who want to give the clauses of the constitution they care most about. But I want to give Professor Marion 90 seconds, Professor Marion. She's from Kenya National Commission on Human Rights. We are not very happy because you people have allowed your mandate to be taken over through a spiritual presidential proclamation. We look forward to the power we have given you, to how you will utilize the power we have given you in the Constitution to ensure that you do your job and nobody takes it over. Karibu.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon. Good afternoon to you. Now, giving a professor 90 seconds, is that fair kweli? Na vile tunasomesha 3 hours. But I will try. You invited us here, but we have many things going on. So we said, hata tukichelewa tutakuja. So I appreciate. You know, it is good that we have this kind of meeting because we have many people from different ages. Wazee wetu pale, they recognize and they know where we have come from. Hata mimi si mzee sana, lakini I remember days when we got ka document kalikuwa kanaitwa Pambana. Na kengine kalikuwa kanaitwa Mwakenya. Mwakenya si university, Mwakenya si ile yenu ya exam. There was and you know, with my late husband, we were given by somebody to read and we were told to give it back in the morning. Tukaingia kwa nyumba tukafunga mlango. And then we released the dogs so that the dogs can operate outside. And then we read it. When we finished, we wondered, how can we sleep in the same house with this document? We couldn't. So we got out and we put it in a Kimbo container and we put it in the dog kennel. Tukafungia mbwa huko ndani pengine. That is where we have come from. So the fact that we can meet a place like this and talk like this is progress. Is that not true? It is progress. But progress does not mean we have reached where we were going. We have not reached. I can talk many things, but I want first of all to thank you people. Because the Kenya National Commission on Human Rights is a constitutional commission, and its role is to protect and promote human rights. And of course, you cannot expect to be well paid by the people that you are checking. Tuko pamoja? And we are supposed to oversight government to see whether anybody is violating the rights of others, and we expect them to give them money. So they give us money kama Panado, so that we don't get an overdose, but we still work because of you. Clap for yourself. Because you are the people, human rights defenders, you are the people who do the work. And you give us that information, and because we are protected by the Constitution, we can stand and say what you told us. And when we say what you told us, we can go back into our houses and sleep. So we want to encourage you to continue telling us what is happening huko mashinani. We verify it and we talk and we say loudly. We are not compromised. The right to worship is okay. Kama unataka ku-worship ukiangalia Mount Kenya, sawa. Kama unataka kwenda Shakahola, shauri yako. But please, don't interfere. We are a civil state. We are not a state that has a state religion. It is your private matter as long as you don't interfere with others. But that is not what I wanted to say. I wanted to say the following. In the last 2 years, we have seen a trend. And the commission has been on that case, and you have supported us. You call us in our situation room and you tell us, right now this has happened in this place. And we go and investigate and we say it. A year ago, we said at one point that the people who had died that day were 21. And there were people from State House who said, no, mnadanganya. We don't engage them. We did, we wrote the names of all those people with the details you have given us. We said it is Rex Masai and his body is here. It is so and so and the body is here. And we sent it to them and they kept quiet because you gave us accurate information. We have been pushing for compensation of those people who lost their rights, like their lives, who were injured and lost their property. You also have told us that information. The other day, at that time we said there are three groups of people on the street. We say they are protesters and those are protected by the Constitution. Kweli au si kweli? And those ones have a right. We say there is a second group who are also recognized in law and they are called security officers. And those security officers have a mandate to escort these people and to prevent them from getting wasimamishe magari nini so that they can have safe passage. So their role on the street is well known and documented. Kweli au si kweli? They are called police. We say there is a third group on the street and they are called goons. Those ones are not supposed to be on the street. They are criminals and the police should deal with them. But now we saw them coming and coming even more. We even saw the police that they had forgotten what they are supposed to be on the street. Instead of protecting the protesters, they protected the goons. We said it. Ni kweli? Yes, we said it. Now, compensation. What we have said, and you have said for so long, has come out. They have said, let us compensate these people. And then they set up some committees. And we said, look here, there is no way that I can hire a cook in my house, wa kunipikia na watoto wangu, and I give them to come now and cook for me and my children. Why did I hire the cook? The Constitution and the law gives institutions that are supposed to deal with victim compensation. It's there. There are organs in the system that are supposed to deal with them. The Kenya National Commission on Human Rights, others. So, how wanalipwa? My salary is being paid to do these things. Bona tunaenda kutafuta another committee to do it outside this established structure. We said it. We said, kama nilivunjwa mguu wangu, and I saw it is a policeman, how can I then go back to a committee where the Ministry of Interior, where that policeman is under, at is going to pay me? Huyo askari si akiniona atanimaliza. So it does not instill confidence. We said that. But what I want to leave you with is very simple. Compensation is restorative justice. Sema restorative. Restorative justice. Ni kusema nilivunjwa mguu so si kwenda kibarua so mnilipe for time lost. But what about retributive justice? Yule alinivunja ni nani? Kama msimjui, si atanivunja tena? Na kama If he has not been held to account, si atabunya mwingine. So let not our eyes be closed. Good, compensation iendelee. But retributive justice, lazima we get justice. Those who did what was not right must be held to account. Will you support us? Hata sisi tunataka ma-support kwa Kenya National Commission. By the way, there are days that I don't sleep in my house. Because if I'm told that ninaonekana nikifuatwa, I go to a friend's house. Naacha simu kwa nyumba yangu. I go and sleep in somebody else's house. Let us work together. And the only way that we will succeed is if we work together. Divide and rule will not work. But that is what they are trying. So please support us as the Kenya National Commission on Human Rights. Continue giving us information. Sisi ni loudspeaker. We say what you tell us when we verify it's right. And we try and do it without fear and favor. May God bless Kenya. Nimeanza kuhubiri eh? May God bless Kenya. Katiba is what has brought us where we are. That is why you can be in this meeting and go back to your house and sleep. And when the rule of law as set up in the Katiba is not followed, that is what is called anarchy. Anarchy is a state of disorder where everybody is doing what they think is right. Let us not watch, not for ourselves, wengine wetu tumezeeka, but for our children and our children's children, so that we do not leave a country in anarchy. Last one. Remember, there is no leader whose people have risen against him who has succeeded. Let me repeat. History is very good because it documents things. There is no leader his people stood against him and he succeeded. And if you know one who succeeded, kuja hapa uniambie ni so and so nitakupatia 5,000. There is no leader. And so let us not try to invent the wheel. Hata how, if that is what they think they will do, when we work and hold together, they will not succeed. Thank you very much.
More power. More power. Professor, before you sit down. No to outside caterers, no. When we have chefs, no outside caterers. Munajua tunaongelelea nini? Munajua tunaongelelea nini? Ebu tuende wale wako na katiba Article 59. So that you understand the anarchy that is being created by a panel of experts. Nye panel. Yeah? Listen to Article 59. Hey, where? The functions, Article 59 of the Constitution, there is established the Kenya National Human Rights and Equality Commission. These commissions are three. It is the Kenya National Commission on Human Rights, the National Gender and Equality Commission, okay, and the Commission on Administration of Justice. The functions of the commission are A, to promote respect for human rights and develop a culture for human rights in the Republic. Wacha niruke B, muache nianze C. To promote the protection and observance of human rights in public and private institutions. To monitor, investigate, and report on observance of human rights in all spheres of the Republic, including observance by the national security organs. To receive and investigate complaints about alleged abuses of human rights and take steps to secure appropriate redress where human rights are violated. On its own initiative or on the basis of complaints, to investigate, research a matter in respect of human rights, and make recommendation to improve the functioning of state organs. Niendelee ama munaona anarchy? Munaona anarchy ya panel of experts? Eh? Na sasa mimi, you know, good afternoon taxpayers. Good afternoon taxpayers. When you get an outside caterer, what happens to our tax? it is wasted. And it will be increased next year. Please, Professor, can the commission issue a statement publicly? Can the commission issue a statement publicly because your power is in the Constitution? Yes, please issue that statement and the people will be with you for much, much longer. Okay? Haya, viva the people of Kenya, viva. Forward with constitutionalism, forward. More power to the people, more power. No power to the anarchist, no power. Resign to anarchist, resign. Haya, tunaelekea tutafungua. I am about to invite the CJ Emeritus Maraga, David Maraga, and he's usually very fast. He walks very fast, so I'm sure he'll be here before I finish. But these are the two things I remember about CJ. CJ, before you came in, we gossiped you and we recited that you annulled the constitution, the elections very confidently. On what basis? On fidelity to the Constitution, to God and to the rule of law. And we kept quoting him. Me, I don't know the CJ, but I met him in Uganda. He was very far, so I didn't greet him. Then everybody, all our neighbors were saying, you people can actually have a CJ who stands up to the executive just on the basis of fidelity to the Constitution. Okay? Then, umesikia mimi ni mtu naamini equality. Nimejaribu mpaka kuokota signature Kenya hii ndio tupate two-third gender rule, which is wrong. It is just 50-50. The population, the way we are in the population is the way we should be in power. It was wrongly crafted, and I can see Tom acknowledging. The CJ wrote a letter to Uhuru Kenyatta to dissolve parliament because they were not compliant. And judicial structural interdict that then pia cabinet ilipewa ultimatum ama idissolve, they ignored. Okay? So nikisoma katiba, I am happy. Iro ya mbele naona ni ya watu wamesoma katiba. Hata wewe Gedhuku umesoma katiba kama Haron Dube. So welcome CJ Emeritus on this day of Katiba Day.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, comrades. Good afternoon, comrades.